From the construction of the Great Pyramids in Egypt, to the shipyards of the West Indies Trading Company, to the storm cellar at your grandma's house, one event has marked a turning point for people throughout history. And for years, Minecraft players have been honoring this tradition in solo worlds and in servers as a rite of passage, marking the end of early game and beginning of something bigger. Today, I take that step into that great tradition and honor all those who have come before me. I give you the Storage Room episode. Storage rooms, storage rooms, storage rooms. What can I say about them that you haven't heard already? Everybody makes them, everybody needs them, and you've probably seen just about every version of storage rooms out there if you've been watching content creators for a while, because this is a very important and very popular thing to make. But I'm a little bit different. I care more about how I use it throughout the rest of the season than how cool it is for this one episode. There are a lot of amazing item sorters out there of multiple kinds, gathering all different types of material from Minecraft, and I have used them in the past, and I've been frustrated by them. So I have a bit of a combo system that I like to use. Let me put together like one slice of it, and then I can explain better what I'm talking about. Okay, here is what I'm going to be working with. So I want a little bit of bulk storage. I don't gather lots of stuff in bulk. I tend to get only the materials I need for the builds that I make. So I don't usually have a ton of bulk. So I'm planning on putting a item sorter to put bulk material into these top two right here. And then I'm going to leave this one down below to be variations of the bulk. Does that make sense? So if this was stone bulk, then all the variations of stone would go into this one. Not auto-sorted, but it's a nice way to keep things together that kind of belong together, and it helps me realize what's going on. And then I'm going to have a whole bunch of chests down below for me just to do with manual storage. I know there's lots of ways to do automatic storage for non-stackable items and all kinds of specialty items and all kinds of different things, but I find them not to be very helpful. I tend to spend more time like fixing the redstone behind everything or reorganizing. My least favorite is whenever you have to have like an item in every slot in your chest to make sure that things don't go to the wrong location. That's just a nightmare. And it's so difficult to work with. I know some of you will probably disagree with me, but I mean, that's okay. It's not fancy. It's not elaborate. But it's, in my mind, the most functional way to have a storage room that you can use throughout the season without worrying about it breaking down and without losing items and have to spend all your time trying to fix it. Bebop, you agree, right? Okay, well, I guess there's nothing to it but to do a bit of a time lapse. I'm just gonna get all the chests in and some of the redstone behind it, and then we're gonna get back to that bubble column that I talked about in the last episode for sending the items around the room. Okay? Okay. All right, you can probably see now better what I was planning. So up here, the top two, all the way across, well, excuse me, not here in the middle. I don't really know what to do with those in the middle. It just, because of the circular room, it made it kind of tough to fit too much more redstone. And over here, like stone, you can have like the stone bricks and the slabs and things like that there. And then down here, this will be for all other kinds of random things. Things that you can't sort, or like wool. I didn't want to make 16 different item sorters for the 16 different colors of wool. So I'm just going to have like one chest be all the different kinds of wool, maybe carpet or something below it, something like that. This went together super smooth. I've got so much more to do, but this isn't working quite yet because I have no way to get the items into the item sorter. So I'm going to remove this end chest here. I'm going to put some soul sand, and I'm going to have a bubble elevator that goes up and then goes over to the side. I wanted it to go like all 4 directions, you know, so that it kind of just spread around, but that made it really difficult for organizing things correctly, and they wouldn't end up in, let's see, where do I have it? Oh yeah, right behind me is the final collection area where everything that doesn't get sorted will go to. I'm just going to whip this up real quick. I don't think it'd be that fascinating in a time lapse, because it's just literally going to be up, over, and done. I'm starting to suspect that the trader ends up getting all his trade goods by searching through people's storage. Hey, get out of here! I'm not even stocked yet. What are you doing? I'm gonna have to keep an eye on that guy. But I am done. I decided to make this look like it's scaffolding that's holding up the dome and also holding up the hopper rail line that's around through here. Some of it's still oxidizing because copper trapdoors have become quite a bit of a pain to deal with. They are cheaper, and I'm glad Minecraft made that change, but there's no way to make an oxidized version of the trapdoor. Excuse me. Why do I have so many house guests? I'm not even open yet. This is not time for that. I think he thinks it's some kind of a dance party, like house warming party. I don't know what he's doing here. Bebop, you're actually invited, but the rest of them are not. Okay, as I was saying, I wanted to be able to drop off multiple of the shulkers at a time. So I have 4 different shulker drop locations, and I can just put things directly into the hoppers if I need to. And then they have clocks that will spit out up here, around, and down. And then they'll go all the way around, all the way over to here. Technically, this is a loop. This is an unending loop. So if anything happens and it doesn't drop down where it needs to, it can keep going. But then here at the very end, this is where everything that doesn't get collected will be. I may make all 5 of these chests do that. Because I'm not really auto-sorting a lot, so there's going to be a lot of things that'll drop down here I'll have to manually sort, which I'm totally okay with. I actually prefer doing it that way. But there we are. It is all done. Now I just need to go and collect all the things from my other storage and bring it here. That's going to take me a very long time. So while I'm doing that, this past weekend, it was the last stream weekend before Halloween. And so we hung out at the Halloween district and had a lot of fun over there. So let's check out kind of all the fun activities at the Halloween district, and then we'll be back whenever I've got everything kind of neat and tidy, okay? Okay, I changed my mind. I could have used stream footage, but I wanted another opportunity to come hang out in the Halloween district. I'm probably not going to be back here after Halloween, so I wanted to make the most of it. We'll get to the statues here in a little bit. I can announce the winner, which you may have already seen if you're on the Discord, but I want to finish up with that. So let's go see the other stuff. If you haven't seen this, that we come in many times before, I'm a huge fan of the Little Shop of Horrors. I've actually worked that musical like 3 or 4 times. I love all the songs from it, and it's super cute. So I love that Liara made a Tui here. And then let's see. Oh, yeah, there's a little ghost. There's a little ghost that popped up around all over there. I think Gio made these there. I love them. And we made a bouncy house on stream the other day. It's apparently a little buggy, but it's still pretty fun. See, this frog knows what's up. He knows this is the jumpy house. All right, we'll just get on here and go. Woohoo! I mean, it might give you a concussion. But, you know, it's still fun. Concussions can be fun too, right? No. Concussions are not fun, but, you know, I'm just pixels, so I'm okay. Next up is this amazing skull, this dragon skull that Eladrian made. Look at this thing, it's so massive. And I love the detail, let's turn around. I love the detail of the eyes. You got the red, but also the skull kind of outlining it. I feel like it's kind of like eyeshadow. Those little remains of eyeshadow around the eye. This dragon's a little gothic, I think. Oh, but you also see the scorpions. Genfire made these scorpions and they look so cool. I love them. She put one here and then she put one on top of the skull, which looks so great. People are really good at these organic builds. I'm not quite as good as they are. Before we get to the maze, I want to go over here to the haunted house. Now, I've already been in here, so I know like what all the scares are, but I want you to see some of the really good techniques they're using for jump scares. It's a really good job. They kind of use, basically, as far as I know, all the really good techniques for it. Okay, here we go. Moss's House of Horror, record if you dare. And of course, note blocks and stuff are on. They are indeed on. Look. So a couple things I want to point out in here. First of all, these new paintings are so cool, but there's quite a few spooky ones. A little skeleton skull there. That looks like a Led Zeppelin album cover. Are we going to hear Stairway to Heaven in a minute? And these banners, there's lots of different banners that he found online that are so cool, like dragon or evil, but this looks like a kind of like a witch's head. I've tried my hand at making some banners. There's like a way online that you can kind of test out making banners rather than doing it in game. And I'm terrible at it. The people that can come up with things like this are just geniuses in my mind. Excuse me, are you making some stew? That's so gross. Is there a mushroom getting thrown in? Are you making zombie stew? Oh man, maybe I'll try some later. I prefer my meat to be dead, not undead. Oh, there's another use of a head. He has so many of these wither skeleton skulls because he has a farm. So I guess that was probably smart of him to use them as the main protagonist in, or antagonist? Which is which? See, protagonist is like the hero, right? And the antagonist is like the villain? Okay, moving on. Oh, once again. Oh, buddy, I'm sorry. I think you're going to end up being food. I hate to tell you. Lots of spooky sounds going on. Okay, now I want to show you the mechanics of a couple of the jump scares that I found. One of the first ones is right over here. Oh, there he goes. And the cool thing about this one is they're actually using the creeper head on a note block to get the creeper sound. So when you come up on it, you get the hiss from the creeper. That's so cool. And then back down on the first floor. Kind of a pushover into the black. I love it. Let's do it again. Yeah. Great. And I think this other side is actually my favorite one. All right, here we go. You ready? Look, it like pushes out at you and resets and everything. Let's do it again. I don't think I've ever seen the one where it pushes out forward at you. I love that so much. Mosh, you did an amazing job on this house. Thank you for doing it. Well, all I can say is poopy. One of the main reasons I chose to come over to the Halloween district, again, rather than choosing to just use the footage, is for this maze. Because whenever I ran it in stream, all you saw was me staring at these yellow blocks the whole time. So I was thinking it might be cool if I use replay mod to show an angle from above looking down while I'm running around and following me around and seeing what's going on from there. But something's not working. I just spent the last few hours trying to get replay mod up and running again, and it won't. I'm a little sad, but I promise I will come over here and run it in another episode whenever I finally get it back up and running again. Okay? Let's go sleep, and then we can check out the statues. Now, finally, we have what you may have been waiting for. You get to see all the statues and possibly who won. I will turn off my game sounds because, yeah, it gets a little noisy around here. So first up is mine. You may have seen it already. This is my Nazgul. I think I did make a change to the eyes. Oh, let me see if I can fly up real quick. I did make a change to the eyes. I wanted to have those recessed red eyes. So that was a bit of a change I've made since the original build. But I think it turned out so good. I'm super happy with it. And right over here is Jen's mallard. I'm not quite sure what's going on. I think she has a bit of a duck thing going on in her stream, so I think that's why she made the duck. But I think she did an excellent job. I love it so much. I particularly love the cute little feet down there. This is one that unfortunately didn't get finished in time. I'm not positive who made it, but by the end of the last stream on stream weekend, this was still not finished. So I didn't get to include it with all the votes. Is it Tiz? I'm not quite sure. Can you tell me in the comments, like, who made this or who's supposed to be underneath that ghost sheet? I can't quite tell, but I'm dying to know. Next up is Geo's Appa. Do you know who Appa is? He's from Avatar, The Last Airbender. It's a giant, like, buffalo type bison creature that they fly around on. It's honestly the cutest part of the show, so I'm so glad she made the statue from Appa. We have a couple shorter ones next. This is, I believe, is Plod's scary spider. Now, it looks pretty scary here, but at night, those two eyes just glow so menacingly. Actually, you should check out, if you haven't seen his most recent video, I think his thumbnail is of this guy glowing in the dark. It's so creepy. And of course, we have our second Thule Bedrock appearance of baby Grogu. Grogu is a huge favorite in our household, so he's super cute. And I love the different eyes. It just gives some personality to the build rather than just being just a standard recreation. I love it. Now, Liara was working on this one all the way up until the deadline. One of my favorite things in a Halloween costume is when people kind of combine two different ideas together to make a unique costume I've never seen before. And Enderclaws is definitely a combination costume. It's so great. And now for the final costume, which happens to be the winner of our costume contest by popular vote, Eladrium's Creaking. Look at that! It's so asymmetrical. It's so, he does such a good job of recreating the vibe. It's not block for block, which is something I actually kind of like. It's not hard in Minecraft to recreate some of the textures because you can recreate them block for block. But instead, he just took the inspiration, made it more or less the same, and just really brought this new mob into the game already before it even officially launches. Congratulations, Eladrium. I will be giving out your prize shortly. Don't worry, it'll be something good, I promise. But now let's head back and let's finish organizing that storage room that I've been putting off now for a while. After many hours of organization, I can proudly say it's done. I have everything that I've gathered in the game up to this point put away in some kind of a stored, organized fashion, and it looks great. It's basically exactly how I described to you earlier. Let me point out one or two of the little changes that I had to make this work right. First of all, you may notice that some of the signage is weird. I didn't know really what to do with these 6 chests here that aren't part of the auto sorting. I don't often wish I had the things they have on Java, but being able to put item frames side by side in the same block space would be really helpful at this point. That's okay. I got lots of other good things on Bedrock. Next up is this chest right here. Now it's labeled leather, but this is kind of a generic, I don't know what to do with it, mob droppy kind of chest. If I get more items of one of those types, I can give them and assign a chest to them. If you see, I have some more individual chest space and I've got a little bit more bulk storage. Actually, a lot over here, a lot more bulk storage. So I do have space for growth, which is super important when you design your room. If you design it and you have no room for growth, then you're going to have a problem at some point throughout your season. But I think that's about it. Everything else went together exactly how I planned it, and I love it. It's going to turn out wonderful. Right, Bebop? Very useful. Okay, Well, that's been a very busy episode. I hope you enjoyed the standard, good old fashioned storage room episode like you do every season. But I hope that you found some usefulness in my more practical approach to a storage room. I hope that you enjoyed it, and I hope that you found it adequate.